Fraud alert! Much Cooper, fraud alert! I've been saying it for weeks. Much. Great little 3-game win streak you had there. You really had us all fooled for a second. Well, not me. You didn't have me fooled. I can read a fraud like I can read rat. Big time fraud alert. Oh, my sweet, sweet little Much. Just couldn't even handle it. Can't handle it. Hasn't said a word this week. I'm wondering where he is. Don't know. Oh, man. Speaking of the past 3 weeks, I feel like the past 3 weeks have really shown that even at my worst, I'm still better than the majority of you at your best. All right? I smacked Daniel. We'll get to him in a second. I exposed Much for the fraud that he is. He puts the you in fraud. You are a fraud. And that's just that, I'm down here in the freaking pig pen, with Tyler Halbrook slinging mud and feces, just trying to scrape a living by. And, I'm just still exposing frauds for what they are. But I got to tell you, I'm in a merry mood. Let's talk a little recap. I know you guys have been waiting 2 weeks on this. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Thankful for you all. Whew. But speaking of frauds, Fraud Watch, not an alert, Fraud Watch. Chandler Stallings. Been singing his praises a lot this year. He started out 0-2, since has gone 9-1, but he has the lowest points scored against. He's still taking care of business. Fraud Watch, not Fraud Alert. Moving on. Celebrations. Tyler Blevins. Congratulations on second most points in the league this week. Except for the fact that you played the person that scored the first most points in the league. Whoops. Bad defense. And speaking of your opponent, Will just refuses to go away. Playoff hopes. Hanging on by a thread. Refuses to die. Still not mathematically out of it, I don't think. I've been trying to write you off. I've been trying to write you off all season. It's not going. Speaking of off, the wheels have completely fallen off Daniel Finnegan's Boomer Sooner wagon. Damn, that 6-2 start, man, that was a long time ago. That seems like a year ago. But you know what? I love the fact that I'm responsible for this 4-game skid you're on right now. Because you're feeling all high and mighty. I think you were number 1 at one point in the league. Then you played me, and things just fell apart. What are you going to do? Can he talk this week? I don't even know. No, of course he can't talk. He'd have been already spewing his nonsense if he could talk. I'm having fun. I'm really having fun. Eric. L's up for you, my friend. 2 losses in a row. 2-game losing streak by a combined 2.37 points. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of fantasy football. I mean, if that were me, I'd probably just quit. Let somebody else slide in the 6th seed. Don't know about that. And finally, we got to get the Spencer update. Tough weekend for Spencer. Well, the Barn Delusion meter's dead. That died, I don't know, 4th quarter with about 30 seconds left on Saturday at a random 3:30 game. Let's see the Barn Panic meter. Well, the Barn Panic meter is about to hit some new heights because Harsin stinks. Bobo left. You've had at least 5 transfers, I think, in the past couple days. This may be the best Auburn team we're going to see for the foreseeable future. I hate it for them. Simple-minded folk that they are. I love them. They know me. But the Trickfield's trigger meter. We may need to retire this one because Spencer, right where he wants to be, was 5-5, been battling 500 on a nice 2-game win streak. He's clawing his way up the standings. And I think, if I'm reading this right, yeah, he's got number 1 points for. It's looking good for our man Spencer right now. Whew. I'm feeling merry. The time of giving, the time of the season. Let's see what else we got on this playlist. Nope, nothing much. So, look, it's an exciting time in this league this past weekend, threw a big old wrench in who's going to get the 6th seed. I think there are 4 people right now, 4.5, we'll count Will, battling out for the 6th seed. But Will, Taylor, and I, pretty much in survival mode right now. 1-game playoffs, we lose one of them, we're out, we're done, we're gone. Daniel and Eric square off, both riding losing streaks. Eric having lost 2, Daniel obviously having lost 4. If the loser of this game could be in trouble of not making the playoffs. We'll see what happens. And then points scored. Ugh, I hate to say it. I hate to acknowledge it, but points scored is going to matter for the 6th seed. Eric in good shape right now if he keeps on winning. Daniel also in good shape if he keeps on winning. Ugh, Tyler, Taylor, and I are just nasty, nasty. Well, boys, see you next week.